you want to make sure that you're not going to become one of the horror stories that everybody hears around, that they got scammed by a contractor and they've been taken for a ride, or they paid a deposit and they never seen that contractor again.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Exceptional Painting Podcast. My name is Tanner.
My name is Mihai, and today we're going to be talking about how to spot a professional painting company versus an amateur contractor.
Because you definitely don't want to get stuck with a chuck in a truck.
You're Sam the Scam, or some
Late Nate.
Pete with no receipt.
Half done Hal.
Yeah, One Code Kenny, or No Plan Stan. There's definitely a lot of names out there that we can probably go on the entire day, but we'll leave it there.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the key things to look for when you're trying to find a professional painter, and what are the red flags that you might see if you are going to get one of the aforementioned names.
Well, you definitely want to do your research, and you want to make sure that you're not going to become one of the horror stories that everybody hears around, that they got scammed by a contractor and they've been taken for a ride, or they paid a deposit and they never seen that contractor again, or in a realm of cabinets, they pick up my doors and they never brought them back or never heard from them again.
That is a true story.
Yes, unfortunately it is. Painting, it's one of the big investments that you do to your home, right? It helps maintain your home. It helps improve the value of your home. And ultimately, it just helps you have a space where you can really enjoy your life, and a space where you can be with your family and create good memories.
It sets the tone for your daily life, really.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, right?
So what are some key things that
you want to look for?
You want to look for in a professional contractor?
I would say the first thing that you're going to look for is an insured company, right? Because that really kind of legitimizes that company. It shows that they're planning ahead.
You want to make sure that you ask about liability insurance. You want to ask if they're insured by the WSIB, because things can happen, and you want to make sure that you're protected, whether it's somebody in your family gets injured, or something on your house gets destroyed, or the contractor or one of the painters on staff gets injured and they're not suing you for what reason.
It's just better to have that, security.
Have that peace of mind.
Yeah. What's another thing?
I would say make sure that you read reviews about them, or there are some reviews about them. Make sure they're an established company or an established contractor.
Recent reviews maybe would be important as well.
Yeah, recent reviews, it's important. Or, if you hear from your friends and family, that's no better review than, one of your family member or a friend that used that person or the company before and they've had good results with them. I think that's the biggest testament, right? I mean, we all trust friends and family, so
100% word of mouth, I think, is the most important. So.
Absolutely. So you want to make sure that they offer warranties.
Yep.
Right. It's not, you don't get the boot warranty where the job is complete, they're out the door and you never hear or see them. Fly by night.
No warranty Wally.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's another one. You want to make sure they have a process, right? You want to make sure that they've done this a couple times, that they have some structure to what they do. They're professional, I should say, in their appearance. They're not.
You'll probably see it in the way that they communicate first and foremost, and how they're scheduling things.
How they're scheduling, and I think the first thing it's how they look, right? If they show up to your house and they're half drunk, or they as we came to to see quite a few, and I guess this industry is pretty much known for that stuff, that you'll get a painter that's crusty, and it's a
bit of a stereotype, but as they say, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, right? But I mean, we're not like that. And
not like that, and we know a lot of other painting contractors around that are not like that. So it's definitely changing, but be very worried about that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think the appearance of the contractor, sometimes you can get kind of a feel for, are they organized? Are they professional? Are they cleanly, right? I mean, these things are important.
Yeah, in this day and age, I think it's very, very important that you are able to find something about that company if you Google it, right? I mean, I'm not saying, I know there are a lot of older painters out there that are very good at what they're doing, very good at the craft. Maybe they're not so good with technology, and maybe you can find anything about them. But I think a professional painting company should have at least a website where they detail at least, what services they offer, a little bit about themselves, have some reviews in there, have a portfolio of jobs they completed. Yeah. Maybe they have a contact page where you can send them an email. You can definitely find a phone number to call just in case, you have a question or anything happens. Ideally, there will be a social media account where you can see some pictures, some videos on the work of the people.
People can post on them and kind of talk about their results if they, if they're posting things like that.
Yeah.
It just builds credibility, right?
Yeah.
So
I think so. Should we talk about some red flags that you should watch for?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously pricing. If somebody is coming in super low on pricing, let's say you've gotten 2 or 3 quotes and somebody's coming in at like a third of the price of everybody else, definitely a red flag.
Vague contracts are another one. You get a quote and it's 3 lines and under the contract is just you need to pay at the end of the job.
Red flag.
Red flag, yeah. So just make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. Well, I mean, that's in the best case scenario if there even is a written quote or a contract. Because if you just get a price and it's like, oh yeah, this is going to cost 5,000, right? And there's no written information anywhere. There's no contract. There's no specification of what's done in that or what's included.
I mean, I'm sure that there are still people who operate like this, but I mean, what other industry are you seeing this in? You know what I mean?
Well, the painting industry is definitely a few years behind any other trade companies.
Definitely.
Trade industry, I should say.
But I think at this point, people should be giving you some sort of contract. I mean, how else do you hold them accountable? Yeah, right?
Exactly. So. Well, I mean, we know there's a lot of that happening when you get the cash only Carl, I guess it was. Cash only Carl, where, you're getting a little bit excited that it's a cash deal and you might not have to pay the tax, or you pay a little bit a lower price. But at the end of the day, what's your guarantee that you're gonna get get the job that you're paying for, or what's your guarantee that that job is gonna last and that person is gonna come back if anything happens? And so
there's no accountability. So you're kind of left with whatever they gave you.
Yeah.
Another one would be if they start the job and you're starting to observe it and you're looking at it and going, they're not really doing any prep work. They're not covering any of my stuff.
Yeah,
that's a red flag.
There's nothing worse than looking at somebody painting and there's no drop cloth on the floor, or there's you just paint right over cracks and holes and everything and nicks, and you don't really care. So that's a big one. Like if you see that happening, I'd say it's a red flag and you should probably stop that right away.
Yeah, for sure. One last one we'll do, I guess, would be no portfolios and no references.
Yeah, so that goes again to there would be no reviews. There's nothing you can find about it. There's nobody that know about that person or that contractor, and chances are that they just decided yesterday that, hey, I'm gonna be a painting contractor, and get a roller, get a brush, and
away they go. Yeah.
So why professionalism matters? I would say that, if you want to get long-term results and a paint job that lasts, I think this is one of the most important things, right? Because you definitely don't want to pay the price and, that job.
You save that money up front, but then you got to redo it. You end up paying more money the second time. And another reason that professionalism really matters is because it just creates peace of mind.
Yeah. Especially when you have a contract and you know exactly that you got something to hold that painting company or contractor accountable.
And you don't have to stress about it. If you've got somebody that you know is reliable, you've seen their portfolio, they're insured, they've got a plan, their communication's been great, you just can relax.
I think there's an advantage here by going with a painting company or a contracting company versus a single contractor, because saying that contractor, that one-person contractor, and I, by any means, I'm not bashing anybody, and I've been there, and I think we've all been there, whoever started a painting company. But what happens if something happens to that person, right? And what happens with the warranty? What happens if something happens with that person mid-job, or they start a project and they get injured or hurt? Then you're left with nothing, right? Yeah. So I think the advantage of getting a larger painting company, or somebody that has a couple people on the staff, that if one thing happens with one person, then at least that's somebody else to take over. There's a little bit of continuity there. And the same thing with the warranty, right? If one person, something happens, or they're no longer with the company, at least still other
there's
people
somebody else there.
that
if it's a single person, or if the entire company is dependent on one person, and something happens, that warranty is now, it's for all intents and purposes, it's void.
Yeah. And again, like, this is not to say that's anything wrong with that, because there's that's a really, really hard job that those people are doing. I've been there. Yeah. I know how it is, and it's tough, right?
Well, that's
and
how you got your start,
they're just
right?
trying to make a living, right? So there's nothing wrong in hiring somebody that's just a one-person show, but
something to consider.
Yeah, something to consider. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Common issues with amateurs. I don't like using the word amateurs, but I guess
maybe
amateur might be
amateurs,
doing,
or maybe non-professional painting companies.
Yeah.
So some of the things would be, you'll see it in the finish. There's an uneven finish. There's a lot of sags. There's a lot of lap lines. Maybe there's a lot of areas that haven't been prepped properly. There's paint on the floor. There you can still see holes, cracks, nicks.
Yeah, these are all things that can happen. This is why there's professionals. This is why it takes years and years to develop the craft, right? So
yeah. So with amateur, an amateur result would be like sloppy lines, not straight lines, uneven finishes, visible brush marks, visible roller marks. A professional result should be a smooth, even finish with nothing, no marks, everything should be patched properly. There's no paint on the floor. There's clean edges everywhere. I think that pretty much sums it up. So spotting an amateur versus a professional doesn't have to be complicated. It's pretty easy. Usually humans, they have this second eye, right? They have the intuition. If your gut is telling you that, that something's definitely wrong here, or I don't feel quite as good, then chances are that you might wanna give it a little bit more thought.
I think it could become tricky for people because they don't always know what to expect.
Yeah.
Right. And so maybe they just think, oh, this is what painting norm. Is. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's like you said, if you get this feeling like, I feel like this could be better, I don't feel like this is going the right way. Yeah. Chances are that it's not.
Yes. So if you're ready to work with professionals or with a professional painting company and you don't know where to start, give us a call, 705-698-5702. We'll be more than happy to come and have a discussion with you, discuss your goals, and see if we're the right fit for your job. And we'll give you a price and guide you in the right direction. And
you can have a look at our website, exceptionalpainting.ca. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. You can see our portfolio on there. Google us. You'll see a bunch of reviews and a lot of happy customers. And we're looking forward to potentially working with you as well.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.